Hello, it's Monday again, and we're here again for another video of how to publish your books. We are on video 13, I believe, and we're talking about marketing. We've already discussed publicity and public relations, um, donating money, donating books, gift auctions, list the giveaways, sweepstakes, blogging, article writing in our previous videos. Today, I'm not sure if we talked about it, but today we're going to talk about advertising. And before I tell you how to do it yourself, obviously, if you just do not care to do it yourself, you can always go to the Yellow Pages, Yellow Book, um, or online and find an advertising slash marketing agency in your neighborhood and pay for someone to do it for you. If you do it yourself, you're looking at newspapers, magazines, TV, radio, and online advertising. It gets costly, and if you remember my first video, I told you it's a lot of money. You're investing. When people say invest, this is what they mean by investing. This is investing in yourself. This meaning spending your money on marketing your business. If you have a job, your job uses their money to market their business. You just don't know about it because there's no reason for them to tell you. But like if you work at a fast food restaurant, I'm sure you've seen their billboard ads and their commercials. They're spending their money to do that. And so just like any other business, you got to spend your money, and if you're not going to do it yourself, pay for someone to do it. When it comes to newspapers and magazines, all you got to do is pick up a copy and look through it. For the most part, the information is either in the front of a magazine or a newspaper or in the back. In newspaper, sometimes it's in the middle. You just got to look for it. If you are not aware of how to make your own ad, again, you can hire someone to make the ad for you. But like I said, those are the first two. Radio, it's a little bit easier as far as comparing to television ads. Again, the best thing to do is to go on their websites. They have all that information there, and then if you need more information, call. And they'll tell you everything you need to know, how much it's going to cost. Local radio stations, public radio stations, where they basically, how do I say, the listeners pay, donate money. Those are a little bit less expensive to advertise on, but it all depends on what your market target is, as far as whether it's a cookbook, whether it's a children's book, what type of radio, which radio station will be best for you. Television, I personally do not know how to get in a television commercial, but I know that like Comcast, Time Warner, if you call them and ask, they can forward you or give you the phone number to call, because the cable stations do have a plan where you can advertise through them. Again, over $1,000 you're looking at. So it all depends on your budget, whether or not you can do that. Online depends on what you're doing. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, whether you're doing a website. Every website has their own amount. Some are inexpensive, some are expensive, depending on how big the website is, whether you're doing Yahoo, Google, or whether you're just doing a local website. A lot of websites do advertising. Playbills are great and inexpensive if it's a local theater company, if it's a high school or middle school. The easiest thing to do for theater companies is go online, type in theater companies, type in your state. Like, it doesn't even have to be in your town. Just type in, theater companies New Jersey, theater companies New York, theater companies Oregon, and then go to their websites. And if they don't have information on advertising, then simply contact them and say, hey, I would like to buy an ad for one of your playbills, give me information. They will send you information either via email or mail, and then again, you look at the prices, you look on, and the easiest one is business card. If you don't have a business card, that's probably the first thing I should have told you to do, is get business cards. It doesn't have to be fancy, and Vistaprint, Vistaprint is the most famous, popular, but there are hundreds of websites where you can get business cards for very inexpensive. Even if you just send them your business card, they'll put that in. Business card ads are usually very inexpensive. They'll put that in there, and you don't have to worry about creating an ad. But And I'm not sure if I said anything about website. You need to create your own website. You can do it yourself. There are a lot of websites where it's easy to do it yourself. Again, if you're not confident in doing it yourself, you can pay for someone to do it for you. Like I said, and I'm sure this sounds like, wow, this is a lot of money. I said that in the very first video. It's not, you're not wasting money, you're investing in yourself. If this is your dream, unfortunately, no one else is really going to invest in it, and so you have to. In the beginning anyways. So Playbill ads is simple. And then of course, like I said, you can go online and search in advertising marketing. Go to a library, get an advertising marketing book, and do your research. There's a lot more ways you can advertise and market, publicity, public relations. They have hundreds of thousands of books you can read on. I say get 3 a day. Well, get 3. Once you're done reading, take all the notes you need. Once you're done with those 3, take them back, get 3 more, and just keep doing that. And like I said, there's so many ideas out there, and you may not want to do them all, but you can't expect success by doing one. You have to do, I would say, at least 10 different advertising things in order for you to really start seeing success. And it's not a, like I said, success does not come out of a microwave. It's not an overnight success. You're looking at, I say, at least 3 to 5 years, the most 10 years before you actually see, you know, a turnaround. And so that's why I said keep your day job, because you're going to need the money. But that's it for this video as far as advertising. We're going to do some more. Actually, I have some time, so I'm going to go to book signings and bookstores. Obviously, if you belong to a church or a temple, it wouldn't hurt to ask the clergy person in charge, hey, can I do a book signing here? Obviously, again, this is going to cost money because you have to buy your own books. And then, of course, you're going to get the money back when people buy them. But at the end of the day, you got to spend money. And then you may have to pay for the, that day, which, hey, it is what it is. Or you can go to a community center. You can do a banquet hall, or a hotel have banquet halls. You can do a theater. Sometimes they have a small room in, not just the theater, but they have like a smaller theater, or they have banquet halls in a theater. And but now this is more money because you have to actually advertise that you're having a book signing. I would say send it to, or even better yet, do it in a library. Ask it, hey, I just wrote a book, can I do a book signing here? But you have to, it's a hustle. It really is a hustle. It's a good hustle, but it's a hustle. And you got to just keep doing it. And you can't, rejection is going to happen lots of times. You just got to keep going until you get the yes. So book signings and bookstores. Local bookstores, not the big ones, because I'm sure franchises, you have to go to at the top. So you want to do your local small bookstores, visit them, call them, send an email, send a letter saying, hey, I wrote a book, I would like to do a book signing, would you mind selling my books? The thing about that is you need to understand the whole wholesale retail. In other words, you can't really sell it to them for the amount that you're selling it for. Let's say if you're selling the book for $10, in order for that bookstore to get a profit, you need to sell the book to them for $5 or less, because basically they're going to want a profit. Again, you can do research on that, find a book on retail, wholesale, and profit, and figure out the best. And of course you might lose money that way, depending on, because if you buy your book for $10, you're going to have to sell it to them for $5 in order for them to get a profit when they sell it for $10. But again, it's, you just got to keep going and keep going and keep going. If this is really what you believe you're supposed to be doing, if this really is your dream, you cannot stop. It's till death do you part, really. And yes, you will see success at some point in time, but it's not overnight. You really need to rearrange your brain and your thinking. Unfortunately, this generation, it is, how do I say, has been raised incorrectly, with the microwaves and the fast food and the cheap, easy, quick crap that we eat. We've lost our patience altogether, and we just have to rebuild it. And starting your dream is the best way to rebuild it, because life and time has not changed. Everything takes time. And that's not going to change simply because our technology has changed how quickly we can give someone a message, how quickly we can eat, and how quickly we can do this, and how quickly we can do that. The way working on a dream, that's never going to change. It's always going to take time, and it's going to seem like a long time, but you're just going to have to keep doing this. And just keep doing it. It's not keep doing this until you see something. It's keep doing this until you die, because if this is your vision, you can't give up on it. If this is your dream, you can't give up on it. So you just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And like I said, do more research. Like I said, if you need to call somebody up, call an advertising agency and ask for help. But it's not, like I said, in my opinion, the easiest part of publishing a book is writing, editing, and publishing. The most difficult part is marketing it, because it doesn't matter how great your book is, there are thousands of books being published each day, and you gotta let that reader know your book is worth reading. And it's not easy, and it's not going to be overnight, and it's not just telling them that this book is great. You got to actually let them know you exist and the book exists. That in itself is a lot of work, let alone getting them to read it. You have to actually let them know that the book exists in the first place. And so it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, and you're just going to have to keep at it until you see results. There's no stopping. You can take a break if you get tired, but don't give up completely. Like I said, if you're taking a break off of the playbills or the newspaper or magazines, then you need to be tweeting and Facebooking and Tumblring and Google Plus and whatever social media you have, Instagram. You need to be doing that constantly. Even if you're not doing the paid advertising constantly, you need to be doing the free advertising constantly. I want to suggest Social Oomph to you. It's you can connect your Twitter to it. You can schedule your tweets, and this way, you can schedule your tweet for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and make it constant. So that way you know for sure that every day one of your tweets is going to go out there. I'm going to put that website there. And then if you pay for this service, you can add Facebook to it, and even better, it's easier to schedule. If you have the free account, you have to schedule it each day. Where if you have the paid account, you could do it monthly, meaning you can say from February 1st through February 28th, I want this tweet to be given out at 4:35 p.m. and you can be that exact, 4:37 p.m., 12:27 a.m. Like, you can be that exact. And if you have the paid account for the whole month of February, you can have that tweet going out at that exact time. And so that way you know for sure your tweet. And of course, the most important thing about tweeting is hashtagging. Don't go crazy, but you need to hashtag something. If it's a cookbook, you need to hashtag cookbook. If it's a children's book, you need to hashtag children's book. If it's about rainbows, you need to hashtag rainbows. You need to have that out there going every day. Like I said, if you're taking because you're tired of, you really get weary of that paid advertising, or you need to take a break from your finances because you can't pay for it anymore, at least the free stuff you need to keep doing. Do not stop doing that. Even the gift auctions, if you have the book, continue to make it and you're not selling them, then take a book, either put it on Listia or make a gift basket out of that book and find a gift auction you can donate it to. But you need to be doing something constantly every single day. You cannot stop. Okay, so that's it for this video. Next week we're going to do some more marketing ideas. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.